This is Keith Boggs of Stonebriar Property Inspections, and this is the debrief for 13379 Affirmative Ave. I've got about 100, or actually about 98 items here. Some of these are videos. Most of these are pictures. They're not going to all be in the report, just the items that we want the builder to take action on. We're going to go ahead and review everything right now. First picture you see here is just a picture of the front of the house. Nothing necessarily wrong. That's just for the telepage of the report. Very first thing I do is I get up on the roof, and right where I put my ladder, there's a torn shingle. It was probably installed that way. I'll show you where that's at. So that was the very first thing I saw. Also, the felt paper. Okay, you see this flashing right here? This piece of metal. It's called edge flashing, or on this side it's called rake edge flashing. This black paper here is called felt paper, or different names for underlayment, building paper, whatever. It's supposed to cover this flashing, and you can see it's underneath the flashing, so that's installed improperly. It's probably installed improperly at other locations because this goes to workmanship. So if somebody was taught to do something wrong, they will repeat that the wrong way. If somebody's taught to do something right, generally they repeat the correct way. So,
the black sheet, it's supposed to come above the.
On top of this, you shouldn't be able to see this.
Okay.
It should be covered up.
Okay.
The rake edge flashing. So the builder needs to go around and verify the felt paper is installed properly. If not, it needs to be installed properly. And this is a code item. This is not something that I'm making up. This is a code item. I'll actually put in the report an actual illustration right from code check. Shows you exactly how it's supposed to be done. And then the torn shingle, they shouldn't have installed a torn shingle. That could actually void your warranty. This is the area we're talking about. That's where I first found that stuff there. This is also right up there in that same area. These are some loose shingles that are not adhering, not sticking together. So the state of Texas, that's what licenses me, they require that we call something out called adhesion, and what that means is how well are the shingles sticking together. And so there's several locations the shingles are not sticking together. So if I can lift them with my fingers, at some point that means the wind could blow them up and blow them away, and you could damage the roof cover. This is at several locations. The same thing here. This is on that same side. So this is the first stuff, and then this was where I found the other starter shingles that are not installed. They're not adhering. So then they go around the whole perimeter of the house to all the edges of the roofs and verify that all the starter shingles are installed properly and the felt paper is installed properly. Then they also need to go at some of these roof penetrations, like the vents and stuff, plumbing vents. There's some shingles here that are loose too. So they need to add additional adhesive to those too. So I'm just lifting it with my fingers. So this is on that same side there. So I do random sampling. So this is just I pick a few places and check. And again, so this is if it's done in this few places, it's probably done in other places. So they need to go around to every roof penetration, and they need to add additional adhesive to protect these shingles from getting blown by the wind and having the shingles fail at some point. This is just more of the same. You can see I'm just lifting it with my finger. Oh, come on. Same thing there. So this is just a lot of the same stuff right there. That's at the top of the roof. So just a bunch of them. Then if you just seal up around those. This right here is a little video of the roof. It's about 2 minutes long. People are always asking about the roof cover, so I just figured I'd start taking videos of it. So after I inspect it, I go around with the camera and video the entire roof. So I'm going to play that video so we have it for your reporting. I've got some other videos too. If I can find them all. Overall condition of the roof is good. It's in overall good condition. That's you right down there, walking. That's that roof cut right over here. close to the end here. That's the end of that. Okay. Now this is the guttering on that same side. The problem here is it's pitched in the wrong direction. This is all the granules from the shingles, and they're gathering on the end of the end of the downspout is not near. So the downspout is over here, right here.
Yeah.
So that should be pitched towards this downspout, so that the water's draining properly. This is your water heater. Everything was fine with the water heater, no problems. Again, that's the manufacturer's label. Some of these things are for me. Again, they'll be in this recording, but they won't be in the report. Okay. There's the manufacturer's label. This is the flashing for your air conditioning, and they did caulk it, but they forgot to put fasteners here. So that shouldn't be. There should be a screw there, a screw there, a screw there, and you can't see it, but a screw over here. Otherwise, that's going to come loose. And you can see it's already coming loose. That covers a pretty big hole. If that was to come loose, you could get water behind there and rodents and stuff like that. These are your two. These next few things are really just for me. I do have a video here.
But you'll put that one in the report as well.
Yeah, any kind of defects we're going to put in the report. Yeah. These are just for me. The manufacturer's labels. Again, they'll be in this video. Then I've got a couple of videos of the condensers. They were running fine, but I'll go ahead and play that. So we got it for the recording. They sound good, and this is what they should sound like. This is just the first one. One thing I would check to make sure the builder called these in to carrier. They'll give you an extra 5 years warranty. So normally it's only a 5-year warranty, but if you call them and let them know that you've got new condensers, they'll give you an extra 5 years, so 10 years. And if they hadn't called it in, you need to call them and just let them know that it's a brand new house, and hopefully they call them in. But this is the next condenser. They look fine. They're in good shape. Now this is a video of the testing of the garage door. So there's two tests. We do a pressure reverse test. So we put something in front of the door to make sure when the door hits it, it reverses, and then I close the door again. I put my foot in front of the electronic eye to make sure the electronic eye works. And so this is a little short video of those two tests. I did this at both doors. So basically, she just hit that reverse, which it did do. You'll see me put my foot there and then reversed. Okay, this is inside the panel box here. I've got a couple. This is basically the first reading of the panel box. The temperature. I actually got a reading here. I think of 127. This is a lighting circuit, a 15 amp circuit. So if it, 40 amp, 50 amp, the bigger the circuit, the hotter that will get. And this is probably getting pretty close to as hot as it should be getting, especially since it's not that hot outside. There's also some anomalies in here with a couple switches, and it looks like some wiring in the wall. We're going to get to that in a minute, though. This is just the first reading, and I've got another picture of this, and then we're going to get into the other thermal readings later on here. Just a minute. This is the other door, the garage door. Same thing, should hit and reverse. And I can tell when they hit something if the pressure's too much. It kind of stalls like a split second longer. And then here's electronic eye test. And that insulation, you can trim that stuff off if you want to.
Okay.
On the bottom of those casings, you can trim that off. I know that looks kind of ugly.
Yeah.
That just foams out. So this is the front door. It looks like when they installed this footer, they installed it at an angle. So when you're stepping on that, it's pushing out, and it's pushing on this part of the front door that's stuck over there, and you can see it cracking there. So they really need to take this footer and place it better underneath there, more plumb, straight up and down. That's just where it's at. This is in the garage. I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah, I think this is all which I done it by myself. So
you did it? Okay.
So
Okay.
you don't need to put it in the report. So yeah.
Okay. Well,
only the garage.
You're in trouble then. Okay, so I can put that. I won't put that in the report then. This locking latch, they didn't disable it. They did at the other door, but they did not disable it at this door. That's something the builder should have done. So that's just where it's at. This is also at the back, kind of the same thing. That footer there is kind of separating a little bit.
Okay.
That's just from that's from just not placing it.
So how do they generally? They kind of put a sealant to fix it, or how?
Yeah, this one they probably get away with just caulking it. The other one they need to push it in place better.
Okay.
Because they put it kind of like that. It's just the force is just pushing it forward. This is this is how we check your drip irrigation on your sprinkler system, and also how we check for supply leaks to make sure there's no supply leaks. So you're going to see some numbers popping up here. There were no supply leaks. Sometimes you do find them in brand new houses, but you'll see that number doesn't change. If there was a leak, it'll be counting like 906, 907, 908, like that, or faster depending, and it's sat completely still. But we'll let this video run. It's a pretty short video. This is the zones. I did verify all the zones. They all work fine. That's just for me. This is the dishwasher. It did eventually heat fine. The first temperature was 109, and that's about 120 is where you want it to be. And these pictures will not be in the report. This is just for us to talk about. Microwave. This is showing the microwave working. I did fill up the sinks and drained them to look for leaks. Ran the disposal. Everything was fine there. This is your oven. Set to 350 and heated to about 325, which is within the range. The range is 325 to 375, so it's within the range. This is a crack over here, and then there's also a crack somewhere up there. Right up there.
So do you know why these?
That's just standard movement. It's not structurally significant.
Oh,
it's normal. Normal. You'll have that, and here in North Texas, you'll have that kind of stuff happen all the time.
So you don't think there is any kind of a structural issue?
No, no. Just do it. You've got drip irrigation. You've got a foundation drip line. Just make sure you run that in the summertime. Just run it. You don't want to overrun it, because if too much moisture is the same as not having enough moisture. They can both affect you. So just in the summertime, you can either run that drip irrigation 5 minutes a day, every single day, or 1 hour a week, or something like that.
Okay.
Just be consistent with it. This is the other crack right behind us, above us.
Yeah.
Right there. This is another look at the panel box. See the numbers, 127. This is the bullseye. This is a lighting breaker. Again, that's a 15 amp breaker. They don't get that hot. Oh, this is cracking up. I think this is in the master, maybe. Oh, that's second floor. That's a bedroom upstairs.
Yeah.
It's a little cracking up there. No, I think it's over there. Whoever showered up there last, they left a big puddle of water there. If they keep on doing that, it's going to damage your wood. So really, I'm not telling them. They need to leave that inside the shower, and I've got a thermal picture. You can see how wet it is.
Which bathroom?
This is upstairs, Jack and Jill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they just need to. I know. I'm sure it's from taking that off and it's just the water pouring out, but just leave it in the tub. This is your first number one air handler. You're going to see a few readings here. Filters, both filters were cleaned. You're doing a good job of changing those. They look like they were just changed recently. One thing that I'm gonna put in the report, the builder probably won't do it. If he doesn't do it, I would do it myself, pay for it myself, because it's not that expensive. Is putting a condensate switch on these.
Oh, okay.
So it's about $125 for each unit, and it will keep your house from getting flooded if there's a problem with the unit.
So what switch you said? Sorry.
I'll put it in the report.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll leave it in the report. So we're looking on the temperature differentials. This is the difference between the supply and the return, and we're looking for 15 to 20 degrees. So we had a 51. This is at the first unit, 51, and a 77. So that's 16 degrees. So that's within the range. Not great, not operating great. The units are new, a year old. It's not that hot out, so it's even though it's within the range, it's not operating that great. So that's something probably would be worth a calibration. I'll put that in the report.
Okay, so is it calibration from
The AC people? Yeah,
the
the builder probably won't do it because it's within the acceptable range.
Okay.
Yeah, something, but we'll put it in the report. I'm gonna put it in the report anyway. It should be operating more like you'll see the other unit. I think the other unit was at 18 or 20 or something. This picture, the only reason I have this picture, this is a walkable area, and this is electrical wiring. Somebody could easily trip on that or accidentally hit that and knock it loose, and then you've got electrical short, which can cause a fire, among other things. So this needs to be protected. Anything within 6 feet of this attic access needs to be protected. So they need to put another piece of wood covering this here, protect those wires so somebody doesn't hit them. This is your next unit. Filter was good, and here we got a 58 and a 76 of 18 degrees, so that's almost perfect. So other one was 16, again within the range but not operating perfect. Also missing a condensate switch. This is upstairs, and I think it's your daughter's bedroom with the stars on the wall.
Yeah.
This register is blowing at 74. I'll show you. I got a couple more readings upstairs at other locations. Has she complained about not being hot up there?
Yes, I think
Has she complained? Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the main things. I think, in fact,
yeah,
both bedrooms have issues.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw it on this one for sure. It was not. You'll see the next reading here. It's that's where it's at. Yeah, and then I've got a reading here in a minute. C59. That's 15-degree difference. And then I got another one. It's 62. So it's not. It's something that register is not blowing very very cold. So, and maybe it's kinked up there or something's blocking that airflow. But that's why she's hot up there. Okay, this is in here in the
So, but you don't think there is any problem with the insulation walls or anything?
No, I scanned all the walls with thermal camera. There's a couple insulation things, but
okay.
Nothing. Okay, so see this little hot spot right there? Another hot spot there. See what I'm talking about right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So this should all be the same color. This is the fireplace. Don't pay attention to that. This should all be one color. These are two things that are just popping out there. I can't think of why there'd be a reason for that. So I think you can see the framing here. That's the framing, the wall framing. I think they got a wire going across of a framing member, and maybe it's bent over, kinked, and it's heating up. I've got some other things I'm going to show you here too. This may be why that breaker is hot. And that's just where it's at right up here. This is over on this side now. Okay, so this is part. You see the framing? This is the framing right here. This is the framing right here. They run the wires between the two framing members. Okay, so this looks like a wire to me. It looks like a wire that's going through a framing member. It's above this register here. That something's going on. So that something is, and again, it could be the same. So this looks like a lighting circuit too. This may be going across to this switch here. I'll show you that in a minute. So right above here. And this is this switch by the door. You see how it's hot? See, normal unless they're dimmer switches, it would be the same color as this.
Oh.
So you shouldn't be seeing anything. It would be just this color right here.
Okay.
That's this switch right here.
Yeah.
So I think this is a wire either coming across there and going down there, or maybe from here, possibly.
So is it a wire kind of makes that heat, or
The wire, yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah,
but you don't think that is kind of? I'm thinking that is.
I'm not as concerned about this one. There's one upstairs. You'll see here in a second. It's really, and it's hot to the touch.
Oh.
When you touch the outlets, so these outlets should not be hot when you touch them. You'll see that. Get rid of that. I'll see that in a minute. This is upstairs. This is behind one of your kids' bedrooms. This is a piece of insulation that looks like it's missing. This is the floor down here. This is the bed. Once I show you the bed, you'll know what I'm talking about. Right there. So there's a piece of insulation here missing. Probably they can access it from here. Get in there. That's just. It looks like a piece of bat insulation. But actually, it looks like two pieces. Yeah, one or two pieces because they're usually about that wide. So that's right there by that bed there. This is an area that I think the insulation is in place, but they didn't push it in place properly, so the heat's getting behind it, and you're seeing heat getting in behind it. That they probably won't fix, but that's up in the bathroom. Jack and Jill bathroom right up here.
Oh, I think that's probably not the bathroom.
Oh, the bathroom. I'm sorry, not the guest bathroom. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the floor. It's upside down. This is the floor there. This is the cold water. I wanted to see it so that you can see that water's just sitting there. This is up here at the stairs. So the fireplace is over here.
Yeah.
It looks like the insulation is probably there, but it's not been pushed in place. You know the bad insulation. Have you seen it before? And they're supposed to nail it in place, and I think it's not in place. Hot air is getting behind it. It looks like it's present. It's just not.
So, but did you think they kind of fix it or not?
They probably won't fix that. No, but the other one I showed you in the bedroom with that little access area, they can fix that. They unscrew that, get right in there. It shouldn't be a problem. Just a wall void in there. Okay, now this is up. This is something going on. I think it's a leaking air duct because there's a register here. You see all this is a cold signature. You see how it's all leaking out here?
Yeah. Oh.
So there's a duct up there. It looks like it's probably split in a couple locations, leaking cold air into that void. Oops.
So which place is this?
I thought I took a picture of that. That is up here. Oh, there.
Is it the game room?
Yeah, right. It's not the curve there. It's right over here. See, there's a register. It's over here. That little chase where it goes down, the drop ceiling.
Yeah.
That's where that's at. So you're gonna want to get that fixed because you don't want cold air leaking into a hot void. It's like you get condensation, and this is what you're seeing here probably. See, it was blue, darker color. That could turn into a moisture problem.
Okay.
So that's something you're going to want to ask them to do.
Okay, but there is no register nearby.
Nope.
Okay.
No register nearby.
Okay, so
No.
it's.
Yeah, you would sometimes see this at the register. This signature would look different than this. It would look blue here, but then it would not be spread out like this.
Okay. But did you probably can I mark the exact place or I don't know?
I thought I took a picture. I'll take another picture here before I leave
Sure.
and pair it with this picture in the report.
Yeah. But these kind of thing, what they do actually?
They're gonna have to open up the wall, the ceiling there, and open up and repair that. That is definitely leaking cold air. There's no register. The register is way over here.
Yeah, that's what that's really. Okay.
Yeah. This is the window right here. So basically above that window.
Yeah, just above that window. Yeah.
Yep, right over there. And this is a switch plate.
So which?
That's a very hot switch plate.
So is it upstairs or?
I'll show you where that's at. Right there, right by that little. This is the switch by the little nook.
Yeah.
A little nook area there.
Yeah.
That's that's probably what's causing that breaker to heat up. I'm not sure about the other ones really, but you can see that's a very bright signature. It's very, very bright.
So what should be causing that?
It could be loose wiring.
Okay.
This is really the only one. The other ones I'm not as concerned about. This is the one because it's such a bright signature, and when you touch that plate, you can feel the heat on it. So if you want to go up there and touch it, you can feel the heat. This is nothing. That's nothing. This is the dishwasher. That was again heating fine, and that's it. So the roof and the electrical are probably the two big things here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it though. Any questions?
I think the one question which I have was the windows on this bedroom, my daughter's bedroom. I kind of always feel that there is some kind of an air leak.
I scanned them with the camera. Didn't see anything.
Didn't see anything. Okay, but these two rooms are always hot. Even my daughter's and my son's.
Okay, well, we're going to put them for them to balance. I'm going to put a balancing of the ducting because of that one room, and so they'll just balance the whole system.
Okay.
Yeah, they should, and just make sure you tell them that.
Okay.
The inspector saw it in this one room, but you feel like it's in both rooms, so they'll adjust that.
Okay. So did you kind of actually do any test on the foundation?